All right, we are so glad that you guys are here with us. My name is Mr. Hall, and today we're going to just do a little work together. We're going to do some reading, some writing. I'm going to throw a couple games in there. We're going to have the best time of your life, and then I'll send you back to your class. How's that sound? Good, all right, very good.
Are we getting sent back to our class when it's time to go? Or?
You're going to be in here for a little bit, and then when we're done, we'll just let you head back, okay?
I hope it's time to go when we get back.
All right. Well, before we get started, I want to ask a couple of things to make sure that we all are on the same page about a couple of things. And the first thing is main idea. Have you guys talked about main idea this year?
Yes.
Yes. And what have you learned about main idea? What is a good main idea? Yes.
A good main idea is like that line.
All right. Who could? No problem. Anybody else have any ideas what a good main idea is? Yes.
Something like.
All right. Can you put your arms like this? If I ever cannot remember what a main idea is, I like to remember this. A main idea has two parts. It has the topic plus
And the
point. All right, I knew you guys knew it. A main idea has the topic plus the point. Now, the topic is who or what we're writing about or reading about. The point is, what are we trying to say here about the topic? All right, so let's practice. A main idea has the topic plus the point. Does anybody watch football?
Oh,
Yeah, what is this, eh?
Go.
Go, you scored, right? So topic plus the point, you've given a good main idea.
Play football.
Oh my goodness.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. Well, touchdown, you scored, right?
Kick off too.
Perfect. Now, today we're going to be doing our job as a writer. Now, what do we notice about this guy here? What's this guy doing? He is... Oh, he's driving. Everyone put your hands on the steering wheel. Give me your best car sound. And go. Okay, good. Who gets to pick where this car goes?
You.
The driver does, doesn't he? This driver's in charge of the car. If he wants to go to McDonald's, he can drive his car to McDonald's. Today, we're doing our job as writers. So I want us to remember that's like we are driving the car. We are in charge of the essay that we're about to write. Now, when we are in charge of the essay, it's so much fun. When I have a writing prompt, when I'm being asked to be the author, when I'm the writer, that means I get to make my own main ideas. I get to make whatever points I want to in my essay. Now, I can make whatever points I want to as long as I have evidence. So as long as there's proof from the text to support my point. And then I'm going to add in my elaboration. I'm going to add in some of my own thinking. Now, when I'm in charge, that also means something that it's not. When I'm in charge, you guys read these yesterday, or you've already read these, right? These activities to improve schools.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm in charge, I have to remember, my job is not to read source one and just write a paragraph summarizing all the information I read in source one. My job is not to read source two, growing a schoolyard garden, and just write a whole paragraph with all the interesting facts that I learned in source two. And my job is not to read source three and write another paragraph just copying down and summarizing everything I read in source three. Now I want to think about it. If my job is to be the writer, if I'm in charge, if I'm just reading what somebody else wrote and copying down what they wrote, am I really being in charge? Am I putting my ideas in there? No, I'm just copying down what someone else wrote. And you know what? That's not nearly as much fun as writing about the points I'm trying to make. So today, that's what we're going to do. And I need you to find the page that says writing prompt. And writing prompt, when you see the words writing prompt, right away that should tell you who's in charge. Absolutely, so let's write it. Let's write the words, I'm in charge. When you are writing the essay, when you have a writing prompt, I'm in charge. Do you have a pencil, buddy? Oh, you don't have a prompt either. I'll write you a prompt. I tell you what, I don't have a pencil close, so she's got a pencil for you. Perfect. All right. Now, I'm in charge. We are going to get to make the points we want to make today. Let's go ahead and let's read this prompt together. Begin. The teachers in your school, all together. The teachers in your school are planning activities for students. Write an essay to your teacher in which you give your opinion about whether students should do activities to improve schools. Use information from the passages in your essay. All right, first of all, I need to see, what is it asking me to write today? A paragraph or an essay?
Essay.
Essay. Turn your prompt over, and let's draw our essay planning page.
You already done an essay.
You did your planning? You have your planning page with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't. If you don't have a planning page, go ahead and draw it. If you do, keep it handy because you're going to need it. So I'm going to draw my planning page. If you don't have one, go ahead and draw it quickly.
I didn't finish mine.
If you didn't finish it, go ahead right now and whatever you didn't finish, get it drawn here. There's my planning page. I have my box for my opinion, and then we'll talk about these down here in just a moment. If you want to draw a planning page that looks like this, go ahead and do it quickly. All right. Let's go back to the prompts. Oh, quick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, good. Pencils down. Let's take a look. Do you see the word opinion? Yes. Circle the word opinion in the prompts. And then in the top corner of your plan, put an O. That O is important. It's not just there to sit there and look pretty. That O is telling me how my essay is going to be structured. When I'm writing an opinion essay, I have to make a choice. I have to pick one of my options. I have to give my opinion. My opinion is going to go in this top box. Now, when I give my opinion, what do I have to give to support my opinion? I need to give evidence, but that evidence is going to be what I use, and I'm going to use to support my reasons. So right here in these boxes, I'm going to have reason number 1, that's my opinion, and I'm going to have reason number 2, that is my opinion. Whose reason should these be? Our reasons, right? Yeah, absolutely. We're in charge, so these reasons should not just be something I copy from the text. These are going to be my reasons I want to use to support my opinion. Now, what's exciting is I'm the writer, I'm in charge, I get to have the reasons I want to have. I just need to make sure that I have what comes from the text, the evidence. I need to make sure I have a couple of pieces of evidence from the text that I could use to support my reason. And then I'm going to work to add my own thinking in here to support that reason as well. So that is the evidence and the elaboration. Very good. So let's go back and see, well, what are the choices for our opinion? Write an essay to your teacher in which you give your opinion about whether students should do activities to improve schools. Who are we writing about today? Teachers or students?
Students.
Students, yes. It says write an essay in which you give your opinion. Oh, let me listen carefully. Who am I giving my opinion about? About whether students. So right now, either check your plan and make sure that you're writing about students, or if you are doing your plan with me, go ahead and write students in that top box. We're writing about students. Now, what are our choices for our opinion about whether students should do activities to improve schools? So what are the choices that we have today? Students should do activities to improve schools. What's our other choice we have? Should not, absolutely. So on your plan, check it. You should either have students should do activities to improve schools, or students should not do activities to improve schools. If you need to fix your opinion a little bit, go ahead and do it now. If you're following along with me, go ahead and I'm just going to put should or should not do activities to improve schools. All right. Well, let's go now Here's our job. Our job is to pick one of these opinions and then come up with what's going to be here? My reason. So I'm going to pick an opinion. I'm going to come up with my reasons. That's my opinion. And then I'll find some evidence to see if I can find some evidence to support those reasons. Now there's one more thing that I want to do before we jump in and we start reading this text and all of that. This is something that I've done because I had to come up with something to remind myself that I'm in charge of this essay. The first time I worked through this essay, just like you guys were doing the other day, this is what I accidentally started doing. I got this far, and I knew I was supposed to pick should or should not, and then I started reading the text. And I read all the text, and then this is what I accidentally did. Instead of giving reasons to support my opinion, I read this first text about Michael Howard and OCS and graffiti and painting, and I wrote this whole paragraph about his organization, OCS, and graffiti and painting murals. And then I went and I read this whole article about growing a garden, and I ended up writing my whole paragraph summarizing growing a schoolyard garden. And I had to stop and ask myself, was my job just to summarize all these texts? Is that my job? No, it's not. So I had to stop and I think, okay, whoa, I can't just start summarizing. I'm supposed to come up with my own reasons. So something I started doing is before I start reading the text, I jot down any ideas I have just by reading the prompt. Whenever I read a prompt, my mind already starts thinking and turning, and I already start having ideas start coming. Then I just want to write them down here so I don't forget the ideas I already have. Because after all, who's in charge? We're in charge. The texts are not in charge of my essay. So, I'm going to show you some of the ideas I had, and you can add these to your prompt, and that way you don't forget these ideas either. So, go back to your writing prompt page, and let's just jot down some ideas. First of all, it said the teachers in my school. What's our school? Sexton. All right, so let's jot that down. Oh yeah, my school is Sexton. What's your mascot here? Oh, the Stingrays. So I'm just going to jot down, okay, we're the Sexton Stingrays. Okay, so it's the teachers right here at Sexton. Now, it says we're writing an essay for your teacher. Who's your teacher? All right, go ahead and write your teacher's name right there. So you're writing an essay to your teacher. You're trying to give reasons why kids should or should not do activities to your teacher. Now, there was this word here. It said activities to improve. What does it mean if you improve something? If you're improving something, what does that mean? Oh, you're making it better. Let's jot that down. So when you improve something, you're making it better than it currently is. So we're trying to give our opinion about whether students should do activities to make their school better than it already is. Now, I also had some ideas, and I started thinking about some activities I knew kids could do to make their school a better place. And the first activity that came to my mind was a recycle program. And the reason that came to my mind is because at my old school, my third graders had a recycling program. And so I knew, okay, I'm supposed to talk about whether students should do activities to make their school better. I know an activity that kids can do to make their school better. They can have a recycle program, and they can go around and collect all the paper and plastic and things that, instead of throwing them away, we can recycle them. Are there any other activities you know that kids could do to make their school better than it already is? So think about it. What are some things kids right here at Sexton could do that would make this school better than it already is? Turn and talk to your shoulder partner and come up with 2 or 3 activities that come to your mind. And go.